change the way I feel about you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Speed Build Sunday. So today we're building a 100 baby dream home, and well, I mean, I know you guys probably know what that means. In case you don't, this is a house for the 100 baby challenge, and yeah, like, I'm not a gameplay person, so I did my best, you know. Obviously I know the challenge, I checked up on the rules, and I did watch the challenge like a couple of times before, and but I never played it myself, so if there's like anything missing or whatever, you know, if I didn't include anything or whatever, yeah, don't hate me, you know, I tried. Just in case you don't know what the 100 baby challenge is, well, it's a challenge about, well, there's a single mom and she has to have 100 babies, with each has to have like a different father, I'm pretty sure. Like, she can't have more than one kid with one father, except if, you know, she has like twins or triplets or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Yeah, so that's the challenge, like the main part of the challenge. And yeah, so this is a big house, and I really tried to make this look like the family dream home. You know, that's kind of what I was going for, like to make this really look like the perfect yeah, kind of suburban style dream home. And I did go for this inspiration picture, which the original is more like the inspiration picture is more like a kind of seaside house. I think it's kind of more nautical, and I did change up the whole style like a lot. I did change up the whole color scheme, and oh, by the way, this is your reminder to subscribe. Obviously, the shape of the house is, I mean, the front is pretty much the exact same. That's at least what I tried to do. And then the back is just from my imagination, because the inspiration picture is only like showing the front of the house. So yeah, that's what I did there. Yeah, and what I was like, what was intriguing me the most about the inspiration picture was that there's just a lot of layers going on, you know, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I love most about houses, when they have a lot of different like levels in a way, you know. That's kind of, you know, I've been talking about this a lot before. That's kind of what makes a build interesting for me, or like a house, when there's like, you know, you can just, mainly you can see that in the roofs. If there's like a lot of roofing going on, and the roofs are just on different heights, you know, so that means that there's just a lot of different like wall heights, and a lot of like different levels in different areas, and I just really love that, and this house definitely had that. And especially in the front, there's like a bunch of balconies, which I did include. Unfortunately, they're not functional, but they look cute. So there's that. And then the roofs are just very on different heights. You know, you have this kind of curved roof in the front, and then you have like the main roof in the center, which is the highest. And then on the left side, you have a roof that's a little bit lower, which, because it's a bit smaller. And then on the right, you have this kind of, I think it's an octagonal roof, which is on, again, another level. And I did achieve that by just, I have 2 stories, and then on top of that, I included another half wall. And yeah, I placed the roof on top of that, which I have explained that like a million times before, but just in case you didn't know, if you want to place a roof on another level other than directly on one floor, you know, on top of a room, what you can do is just place a room just place a room next to the build that isn't attached to the build, place a roof on top, and then just lift up the room, you know, the foundation, to the height that you want the roof to be at. And then you just delete the room underneath, and then you kind of just have a floating roof that you can just, you know, you can just move it, you know, with the arrows, you can just move it to the space, to the place that you want it to be in. And that's why you can see, like, you can see it now, you can, there will be a floating roof while I'm building here for a while, so that's why. And yeah, so I did go for like a completely different color scheme, which the original is very light and airy kind of, and I did want there to be like a bit more color, you know, so I used this pale green wallpaper and like the brick around the porch that goes around the whole house, and then also the red roof, which kind of makes it look a little more inviting and a little more warm in my opinion. So yeah, I did that, and now we're already in the interior, and this is the kitchen. I do really love how the interior came out. Like, I think it's very cozy. I mean, definitely this is like a rich person's, like a rich people kind of house, but still it's like very cozy. It doesn't have like this, I don't know, like some mansions or like mansion size houses have this kind of uninviting, very, I don't know, like they don't look very homey in my opinion. And I tried to make sure that this is not the case for this house, because I really wanted this to look like, you know, there's a big family living there. There's a lot going on. I tried to include like a lot of clutter and a lot of activity items and all that kind of stuff. And the color scheme in the kitchen, I really love this kind of teal, pale teal or turquoise kind of wallpaper from Parenthood. And yeah, I just love that mixture of colors there. And the kitchen is very narrow, which I don't love, but yeah, I would have preferred the kitchen to be more like open and spacious, and I would have preferred to have a kitchen table, but I decided to go with a bench kind of situation in that little corner there. And the kitchen is this small because I try to make, so what I usually do, I don't like when the Sims have to walk through a room to get to another room, if that makes sense. You know, I don't like that in real life either. You know, I think it just doesn't make sense. You know, you have to cross the living room in order to get to your bedroom. You know, that wouldn't really happen, right? So I try to avoid that in The Sims, which isn't always easy, at least not for me, because I'm just not good at floor plans, I guess. But yeah, that's why the kitchen is quite narrow, because there's quite a big like hallway in the entrance area, and you can access almost every room through that. But there is 2 rooms that you can only access through the kitchen, which I did make an exception there because yeah, I kind of felt like it's okay because the kitchen is, you know, it's kind of like a community area. You know, there's like it's kind of like a family area and everybody would hang out there. So yeah, I kind of felt like that's okay in this kind of situation. And yeah, this is the dining room, and I did use these this jungle adventure cabinet, and I used it in this grayish kind of swatch, which I have never used before. And like the dining room in general, it's very gray, and I don't think I've ever decorated a room in this kind of color scheme. Because I don't know, I don't really like gray very much, you know. I think it's very, yeah, it's just very cool, you know. It's a quite cool toned color. Usually this gray is a little more on the warmer side, but still it's, I don't know, you know, I don't really love gray. I love a bit of color. But I don't know, there's something about this kind of color of gray mixed in with this warm or this kind of pale wood tone, which I really liked. So yeah, I really love how this dining room turned out. And yeah, by the way, like the clipping of the stairs, man, like this has been an issue forever. Like since we got like stairs, you know, I mean, we had stairs from the beginning, right? So pretty much since forever, the stairs clipping through the walls. Can't they just do anything about that? Like, I really don't get it. That should not be happening. You know, it just looks so awful. Anyway, so I built this little custom kind of side table, which I really love. I used a lot of these, a bunch of these jungle adventure tables next to each other. And then on top, I added this debug. It's just a wooden kind of, yeah, board. And you can find that in debug, it's base game. And yeah, I just placed that on top and then used just a bunch of clutter on top of that. And I really love how that turned out. So yeah, this is the living room. And I didn't really know the color scheme in the beginning. I didn't really know what color scheme to go for because we have this pale blue wallpaper, and I didn't really want the room to be baby blue, you know, I didn't really feel that vibe. So I ended up going with this tealish kind of blue mixed in with black. And in the beginning, I wasn't really sure about it, but I ended up using a bunch of rugs that have like other colors in them, you know, like red and kind of yellow and that kind of stuff, which made everything a lot like more inviting and a lot warmer in my opinion. So yeah, and I did use like a lot of plants and clutter, and that's always like a good way to make a space more, yeah, just more homey and more inviting, you know. And also, of course, I included fireplace because, you know, ain't no living room really without a fireplace, you know. So and I did like I made like a brick wall behind the fireplace, which I think I used the brick wall, like the wallpaper that came with Cottage Living, which, yeah, it makes sense because the fireplace came with Cottage Living as well, so the swatches match pretty good. And here I decided to add this little activity area for the kids and toddlers. Yeah, because I don't know, I kind of felt I tried to include like areas for the kids and toddlers to play in almost every room because, you know, I kind of felt like it makes sense because they might want to be like, they want to spend time together, but then again, like the teens and the mom, they want to do like their own stuff probably. And it's always good like to have like activities for the kids and toddlers in the rooms, you know, so that they can kind of like entertain themselves really, you know. So yeah, I do think that's kind of cute. I really love this kind of, I just really love these kind of rounded areas in houses where there's like, naturally there just is like this sort of nook where you can, I don't know, it's just cozy in a way, you know. So I really love that. And I did use a lot of these high school years curtains throughout the whole build, which I love those a lot as well. They're just so, I don't know, they're so detailed, and they kind of have a very, well, very like kind of, what's the word? Like they look very charming in a way, you know? They have this lacy kind of detailing, and that's very, you know, you would see that in older people's homes a lot, you know, at least in Germany. I think in other countries too. And I really love that. It just adds like a detail of hominess, you know, if that makes sense. So yeah, I included them a lot actually in a lot of the rooms. And yeah, I think that kind of makes the house look a little more, even more inviting. And yeah, I was really just like trying to focus on making the house look very inviting and yeah, very just, you know, like a house that you would want to spend time in, you know, so an actual like dream house. So yeah, and this is the mom's bedroom. So like I said, like the 100 baby challenge, the mom wouldn't really have like a partner. She would kind of be like a single mom. And so the bedroom is quite small. And I did also include like, I did include that afterwards, like when I was like after filming, after building, I thought, okay, she might need to have a crib, which I know you don't necessarily have to have because they will be like they will appear. But I did include the crib that came with werewolves because I just thought that was very cute. And I don't know, I kind of thought it's nice to have a set space for the crib to go to, you know, and for your baby to go to. So I included that in the mom's bedroom. And this is quite a small room, and I am aware of that, but everything is functional, so you can use everything. Well, I didn't play test the crib, but it should be functional. It's yeah, it's like the footprint has enough space, I think. So, and she can use everything else, you know, she can use the closet, she can sit at the table, she can use the bed, she can use both sides of the bed. So you should be good there. You should be able to woohoo in the bed and everything. And yeah, I think this is a very comfy room as well. I did use a lot of paintings in all of the rooms because I think that makes the house just very homey as well. And yeah, I think that's it for this room. Yeah, so this is the office, and I was thinking the mom could be like a writer, because I think that's kind of like a good career for the 100 baby mom. Okay, so my camera just overheated, so I again don't know what I have been talking about, but yeah, we're in the office now. And yeah, right. I was thinking that the mom for the 100 baby challenge could be a writer, because I think that's kind of like a good career for the 100 baby mom, because I think you can earn quite a lot of money with writing. And also, I think you can have your teen kids help you out with that. I think they can kind of continue writing your stuff. I think so. And yeah, so that could come in just kind of handy, you know, when your mom, you know, your 100 baby mom is just like preoccupied with her. Gee, there was a fly. Yeah, when she's just like busy with her toddlers and babies and all that. So yeah, I think that could be quite useful. And yeah, also I did include one of these play tables for the kids because, well, I tried to incorporate a lot of like activity items for the kids and toddlers in almost every room, because I kind of felt like, you know, maybe they want to hang out with their mom, and it would be good like to have, or the mom just wants to keep an eye on like the kids and toddlers, and might be good like to have activities in every room so they can just kind of like, yeah, like I said, entertain themselves. And yeah, this is one of the kids' rooms. And by the way, there's like a lot of rooms here. And so there's like a lot of rooms there. Your Sims should definitely be good with like in terms of rooms. Yeah, I was trying to keep like every possible kind of combination of children in mind, which, yeah, I mean, so there's a bedroom for 2 toddlers, which I will show you in a second. Then there's one for 2 teens or kids. I was thinking kids. And so that's 4. And then we have 3 more rooms that are just, you know, for just 1 kid or teen. So, I mean, you could get a problem when you have triplets because there's only 2 toddler beds. But yeah, I mean, you can just swap a teen bed for a toddler bed and then you should be good. And also there's one room, which is like an activity kind of room for the kids that's upstairs. You'll see that in a second. And you could always just swap that out with a bedroom, you know, there's a spare room, which could also be another bedroom or could be like a room for the babies too, you know. So yeah, you could technically do that. And yeah, this kids room, I really love that. I love the color scheme, like the green mixed in with this salmon-y kind of color. And there's just a lot of clutter and it looks like a bit messy, but then it's not messy, you know, and I just love this little nook where there's just like a bunch of cushions and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I just really love how this turned out. I think it's super cute and super cozy, and yeah, I love this clutter. You know, I'm just all about clutter. I mean, if you've been here a while, you probably know that. So yeah. And this is one of the teens rooms, which I thought would be a teens room. One of 2. There's two rooms that I thought could be for teens. I'm only showing you this one. And then I'm showing you also the toddler room, and there is another room for 1 kid, which I'm also not showing you, but you will see all of the rooms in action in the cinematic shots in the end. So yeah, and this is a room which I thought could be for like a gamer kind of girl, you know, and she does have this kind of streaming computer kind of thing, that and the gaming desk and gaming chair that all came with high school years. And I really think that's a cool idea. You know, I was thinking that she's like a teen girl, and after school, she would go home and maybe she has like a Sims Tube channel. And yeah, I don't know, maybe she comes home and starts streaming or like makes videos or whatever. And yeah, I thought that would be quite realistic, and maybe she wants to become like a full-time streamer or just like a creator, video creator, basically. So yeah, I definitely love this room. This is probably my favorite of all the kids' rooms. And I just, you know, I would have loved to have a room like that when I was a teen. Although, you know, I wasn't really that much into gaming when I was a teen. I mean, I was, but yeah, I wasn't never really allowed, like I never had a gaming console. I wasn't really allowed to have like a lot of gaming, like games, computer games, you know. I just, I only really got into that when I was like in my 20s, really. So when I was in school, my room very much looked like a, yeah, like very like a grungy kind of teen room, you know. And I did have a Cinderella wallpaper, and it was all covered with like grungy posters and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but I loved my room still. So yeah, this is the toddler's room, and I really love the color scheme in this one. There's something about the combination of this pale orange mixed with the pale blue, and I used this dollhouse that came with werewolves. I think it came with werewolves. And these two toddler beds from Eco Lifestyle, which I love. I think they're so cute with a little roof. And I tried to use the one from Werewolves too, which I do think is adorable as well. But I couldn't really make it work with the color scheme, so I just decided to use both these Eco Lifestyle beds. And yeah, then again, I just included like a lot of activity items. I included 2 of these like crafting, artsy kind of tables, and yeah, just like a bunch of toys. And also I made sure to include a chair, just in case like the mom wants to read the toddlers to bed. And yeah, she can definitely do that. And this is a really cool room, in my opinion. Like, it's a big room. They have a lot of space there, and they should really be good. Like, whatever they want to do, like, they should be able to do it there. Like, there's a lot of stuff for toddlers. And these, I think the tables, they are for kids, right? I think they're not for toddlers. However, you know, I thought maybe the siblings want to go there and they want to play with the tables, and you know, they do grow up. So okay, so now my battery died. Yeah, so this is the activity room that I was talking about. So they do have, like, the kids do have a lot of activities here. They have a foosball table. They have this little what is that? Like this monitor. I think that's kind of like a Void Critter game, right? They do have that. So that's for the kids. The foosball table's for the teens, and there's this kind of puppet theater thing. I think that's for toddlers, right? So yeah, they're kind of they all should be good. There's darts as well. So there's a lot going on there, a lot of activity. So obviously, I mean, you don't really need this room. You could also use that as a bedroom. So yeah, feel free to swap that out. And then attached to that is a bathroom, which is one of 3. There's 3 bathrooms in this house. I think there's 1 bathroom downstairs and 2 upstairs, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Like, maybe it's the other way around. But there is 3 bathrooms in total, I'm pretty sure. And this is kind of like the biggest one for the kids. Yeah, it's just, you know, they have like two sinks. They have a shower bath combination. I included a lot of potties. So in the whole house, there's lots of potties. You should definitely be good there. And yeah, now we're working on the landscaping. And so I decided to include this pond. Because yeah, I don't know, I was kind of, at some point I felt like this looks a little too like suburban family house for me, a little too much, you know. I wanted to make this look a little more like romantic, you know, because like in my opinion, like a dream family home wouldn't really be like the typical traditional suburban house. It would have to have like a little something extra, you know. So I decided to include this pond, and I wanted there to be a bridge. I don't know. I woke up one day and I just had this image in mind, you know, just of this pond and then a bridge leading to that house. So yeah, that's what I did here. And So the bridge is functional. I mean, so there's a one tile floor piece underneath the bridge, which is technically like a floating floor. And so the Sims can walk over that floor piece, and the bridge is kind of just covering that. I think the bridge came with Cottage Living. It's from Debug, and it doesn't have a footprint, so your Sims can just walk through that basically. But it looks kind of like they are walking just, yeah, over the bridge, which I think is pretty cute. And I did include like a lot of landscaping around the pond, and I did try to make this look very swampy, you know. I wanted it to look very natural. I didn't really want it to look very polished because I guess I was trying to kind of, I don't know, because the house itself looks quite polished, you know, it looks like a very like wealthy family kind of house. So I think I kind of wanted to take away from that a little bit with the landscaping, make it look like a little overgrown and yeah, like swampy. I used a lot of like swampy kind of plants and included a bunch of rocks here and there. And yeah, I just wanted it to look very natural. And for landscaping, that's kind of all I'm doing, like except for trees, that's all I'm adding in terms of landscaping, because, you know, there's a lot going on there with a pond and the landscaping around it. So I thought I would like overdo it if I added like another flower bed anywhere. That would just be too much. You know, other than just like plants inside of plant pots, I didn't really add any other landscaping. And here I'm just adding this kind of backyard terrace kind of thing. And this floor, I think that's the one from Jungle Adventure, right? I think that's the one. I love that floor, and it matches perfectly with a red roof. And I did use these debug fences from, I think, Cats and Dogs. I used debug fences because I wanted to extend the terrace on until the to the edge, like straight to the edge of the lot. Which, I mean, it is kind of weird because so we can add the floor like up to the edge of the lot, but we can't add a fence there or walls or anything else really. Which, I mean, that doesn't really make sense, does it? I mean, if you can add the floor there, why can't you add a fence, right? But anyway, yeah, I wanted there to be, I wanted them to have a bit more space in the backyard, so I decided to just use the debug fence, and I think it's pretty cute, you know, I like the white. I think it's a metal kind of fence, but you can't really see that. It could be wood too, you know, which is what I was thinking. So yeah. Yeah, and so also I included a lot of outdoor activities. They have a grill, of course. I used a lot of clutter there as well. Also to make it homey in the backyard area. We do have a swing. I think this one, did that come with high school years? I think it might have. And this kind of monkey thing, I forget what that's called really. And I included this little pool and also like a telescope and the bucket for like, you know, with the water balloons. And of course, I'm also including like a big dining table. Or I used like 2 picnic tables next to each other. I think they are from Jungle Adventure as well. I used a lot of Jungle Adventure in this build. So yeah, and also I used a basketball thing, and I used this tent, and this tent came with I think that came with this kid pack that we got recently, which I was kind of confused because I kind of thought like that would be a tent where they can really just like go inside and play. You know, that there would be like a gameplay aspect to that, but there isn't. Like, at least in my game, it didn't really work. Let me know if I don't know, I did something wrong or whatever. But in the end, I decided to add in a dollhouse because I wanted there to be some sort of activity inside the tent, you know. And I definitely wanted to include the tent because it's just super cute. And yeah, so they have a dollhouse in there and they can play inside. And yeah, I just added a bunch of lighting around the house, and now I'm just adding like a lot of furniture on the porch. Yeah, because I kind of it's a big porch, you know, it goes all around the house, like around the whole house. And I just always love the idea of having a porch and having like, especially like a rocking chair on your porch, and, you know, sitting on the porch in your rocking chair or on a bench and just, you know, watching people pass. And I don't know, I think there's just something about that. I just love that idea. So I made sure to include just a lot of furniture so they can sit on the porch as well. And by the way, the balconies, unfortunately, they aren't functional. So, but you have a lot of just like space on the porch, so you're good there. Yeah, and that's pretty much all I'm doing. I'm just adding like a bit of terrain. I'll add a bunch of lighting, obviously, on the exterior. And that's kind of everything I have to say for this build. So thank you guys so much for watching. I very much hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please enjoy the cinematic shots in the end, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Nothing can ever change the way I feel about